Yes, yes, we are live right now. I haven't been live in so long, but because I'm working on things, uh, some of those things I can't say, but just know that there'll be major changes soon, and yeah, I'll basically like update y'all. But I mean, I just wanted to go live real quick to talk because there's a lot going on in the world of boxing, I guess you could say. We got a couple of good fights coming up, but first and foremost, I want to talk about the whole Devin, Ta- Devin Haney Lomachenko controversy. I watched the fight many times. I watched the fight like 3 times, and I understand why the judges gave um, Devin Haney the lean for the W. But what I don't understand is why people are calling it a robbery. Because the thing is that if you are, for example, if you're fighting, right, and you're not taking the fight to that person, or you're you're a challenger, and that person is undisputed, you have to like literally take those belts. You can't just, for example, just I don't know how to say it, but just fight for the belts. You have to take the belts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Lomachenko didn't really take the belts. I'm just gonna be real. Um, I feel personally that the belts were just kind of that you wouldn't even know any better, that the belts were just kind of up in the air, really. That's how I feel. And that basically that Lomachenko was really not trying to take them, you know. Uh Another thing about it is that if you fight, maybe let's just say you fight 10 seconds out the round and you're effective 10 seconds out the round, I mean that's not enough to win you the round. That's the thing. That's not going to be enough for you to win the round. The round has to be won and fought for the whole 3 minutes. You can't just decide that, okay, um I'm going to fight in spurts and expect to get a nod. You got to kind of have a consistent ebb and flow. So this is why me personally, this is just me personally, I wouldn't be mad if it was a tie, okay? And I'm not upset at the decision for Haney. You know, I'm not going to. I guess it would make no points doing semantics, since a win is a win. You know, like saying something like, "Oh, it should have been a split decision or a majority decision," is neither here nor there at this point when it comes to the fighting. You know what I mean? So this is why I say to myself that, hey, it is what it is, bro. Congrats. He did what he had to do. The boxing world is not happy at him for doing what he had to do. We're not getting, and another thing, we're not getting the knockouts that we want from him. I think that's the missing link in this whole equation, is that he needs to get. I mean, he doesn't need to get. He's winning, regardless of how you like him to win. He's still winning regardless. Um, I think the thing is that, yeah, it probably would be nice to have, if he would have those knockouts. It would be absolutely good for him to have knockouts, because then people wouldn't be able to complain about, like, oh, this dude doesn't have knockouts. I mean, but the unfortunate well, it's not unfortunate, it's just that The way he fights, it doesn't set up the knockouts as common as we would want to see them. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what people are upset about when it comes to Devin Haney and his boxing. Now, um, let me see something. Excuse me. So, with that being said, in terms of that, there is one thing that's going on. I guess what's happening now is that Shakur was supposed to be the mandatory, but I guess he didn't activate it or something like that. I don't know the full details in that regards, but he was supposed to be the mandatory. He didn't activate his mandatory spot. So what has happened now is that Lomachenko has skipped him, and they would probably activate it for a rematch. But there is a flip side to all of this, because now what's happening is that Devin Haney may be daring to be great. You know, Eddie Hearn, of course, is kind of, Eddie Hearn. We know how Eddie Hearn is. We already know how Eddie Hearn moves and how he operates and things like that. But what's happening now is that uh, what's happening now is that Devin Haney. I don't know how true this is, but Devin Haney, it appears, is basically I don't know if this is true. Again, I'm not sure this is true. But I think with Devin Haney, because e- even when we look at Devin Haney's last fight with we look at Devin Haney's last fight with what's his name? Jojo Diaz. When Devin Haney fought Jojo Diaz, okay? Jojo Diaz said that if Devin Haney, right? If Devin Haney were to move up in weight, he would probably hit harder. He would probably like crack. You know what I mean? That's what he said. This is something that Devin Haney that this is something that Jojo Diaz said, right? So I'm thinking by if what is said to be true, they are saying that a fight with Regis Prograis could be in the works. The thing is about it, the thing is about this whole situation, right? Is that he would be stepping up to one of the most toughest one of the most toughest challenge in regards to the 140 division. I would say Macias is the other hard challenge is Macias, because that guy can crack, you know. That guy can crack. I'm not gonna even lie, you know. I cannot even lie. As a matter of fact, that guy actually killed someone. He actually yeah, he actually killed someone from his destructive power, basically. So if Devin Haney does make the move to 140, he's gonna have some work. And that will just go to show how not only how professional he is, but how much of a like a I guess you can say how much of a throwback he is when it comes to the fighting. Now, what needs to be said then, and this would make for a good fight, this would make for a very good fight. If Devin Haney moves up to 140 and he decides to drop those belts at 135, if he decides, hey, I'm just going to drop the belts at 135, then what that means is that you will have a potential fight with Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson, which would be pretty entertaining. It would also be entertaining to see if should Shakur Stevenson be successful, would he beat him more dominantly than Devin Haney did? You know what I mean? That would answer a question as well. So this is something that, hey, this may be a good look. Devin Haney moving up to 130, 140, 140, would maybe open up some other things. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. Now, I'll be right back in just a minute and we'll talk about some more fights coming up. Give me a second. All right, so excuse me, but another thing too that is kind of like weird about the whole Devin Haney situation is, of course, you have Mr. Paulie Malignaggi, who's still going at a having a war of words with Devin Haney, and it's like, bro, like, why are you even still entertaining this right now? Okay, he won the fight, and then you made up a lie and said that he re-signed with Top Rank. Oh, okay, you made up this blatant lie that he re-signed with Top Rank, and he didn't even re-sign with Top Rank. You know what was up with that? You didn't even need to say that. That was weird to me. You know that he would just make something up. Now, another thing, too, that I want to talk about is we have the how should I say um we have a couple of, I guess, fights coming up that can maybe add a little bit more excitement into their respective divisions. Uh, when we go to the super middleweight division, it's kind of stagnant right now. I know it sounds bad, but it seems like everybody is waiting for Canelo. You did hear Jamal Charlo say that he is open to fighting Demetrius Andre as his comeback fight, but that's neither here nor there. We don't know if he's telling truth. Um, we don't know if the truth is really there. We don't know if he's really if he's really, for example, if he's really serious about fighting Boo Boo, you know, for his quote unquote first fight back. We don't know that, because of the simple fact that uh the reason why we don't know that is for the simple fact that, he says a lot of things. The one thing that he said, actually, he actually said that, and of course I made a video about this. I made a video about this a little bit earlier. He said that he tried to challenge Bivol. He wanted to challenge Bivol, and it's like, bro, like, why would you challenge Bivol? And he's in a whatchamacallit, in a in a division that's higher than yours, and he hasn't even decided, or Canelo, um, Canelo hasn't even decided yet if he wants to fight him at 168. That's the thing, you know. He hasn't even decided yet if he wants to fight him at 168. That's the thing. So you're talking about fighting Bivol, and it's like, bro, why are you talking about fighting Bivol when he may not even need to step down to 168 to get the fight? Because the thing is, I don't think Canelo fancies fighting Bivol at 168, just due to the fact that there'll be more on the line if he fights him at 168. His undisputed his undisputed titles will be on the line, and that kind of opens up to that basically that will open up the door for Bibble to do something amazing. The thing is about it is that the thing is that when it comes to that, if if for example, if I want to say, right, if Canelo does decide, hey, I will fight you at 168, and the thing is about that is I favor Canelo to win. I favor Bivol to win that fight at 168. That's just me. I will favor him to win, right? I will favor Bivol to box circles around Canelo, and maybe that weight cut may it could maybe be at his advantage even more. You know, so the thing is that the thing is if this happens, it could also be a bad thing for Bivol because may here's what may happen then. Okay, if Bivol were to beat Canelo at 160, if Bivol were to beat Canelo at 168, right? If he were to beat him at that weight, right? Um, I think the WBC would do everything in their power, right? To keep him from to keep him from basically doing it at 175. In fact, they may do that because of the whole Russian ban and because of the whole yeah, because of the whole Russian ban and because of the whole Belarusian ban, they would probably make him petition in order to get the fight with Bivol. I mean with Baturbiev. But if that happened, right? If that were to happen, if that were to happen, right? There would be a chance that he could get become double undisputed, right? He can get double become two-time undisputed champion, top of the top. But again, I don't think the WBC is going to let that happen, okay? Because again, we have to understand that WBC that's their darling, quote unquote. Canelo is their darling, right? Like that's how this whole thing works with the WBC. They treat Canelo as a darling. So I don't think they would want Bivol to just do something very awesome, which would be basically the possibility of becoming a two-time undisputed champion, you know. Now, another thing too is because another thing too, right? That we need to understand is that with the thing is with Canelo at this point, I think he wants to ride off into the sunset. And the thing is about that is there was talk that David Benavidez sent him an offer. That's what they said. So it's like, okay, they send him an offer, but then it's like, okay, you're sending him an offer, and I do rock with David Benavidez, but it's like Canelo will be probably thinking, what is there in it for me? Like, and he's probably thinking, well, this bag ain't gonna be big enough. Like that's probably what he's gonna be thinking. Okay. That's the whole problem. Is that he's gonna be thinking that the bag is not gonna be big enough for me to fight David Benavidez. And one can say that he did everything necessary to um get a spot to fight Canelo, but Canelo's still going to be thinking, okay, well, there's nothing really for me here. Even if he's a mandatory, there's still nothing for me here. That's the whole thing about that fight. Although I guess you can say from a fan perspective, um from a fan's perspective, yeah, they want to see the fight. You know, people definitely want to see the fight. But Canelo probably thinking, well, high risk, low reward. That's what he's thinking. So I don't know what Canelo's gonna do. To be honest, I don't really care what he's gonna do because I didn't even watch the fight with John Ryder. There was no incentive to watch that fight. I'm like, man, I don't need to watch that fight, man. That fight is like boring. It looked boring. Like when I watched the highlights, I'm like, bro, like I don't want to watch this. So with that being said, enter option number two. Me, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but people disagree. People definitely disagree with me. But yeah, I guess he does. I would say yeah. I mean, at this point, he's had a lot of wear and tear. I mean, that he was talking about going into acting, so I mean um that may be the thing to do. So so uh, with that being said, since Baturbiev has to stay active, and I don't know what Bivol's gonna do. Like I guess I guess with Bivol, I think the next likely fight for him is Buatsi. I mean, I would think that that Bivol will fight Buatsi. That's probably what they're gonna have him do. Because at this point, Baturbiev is occupied with Callum Smith. It's not the fight that we want to see, but it could be an interesting fight since he's fighting in Canada. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool that he's fighting in Canada, you know? And so, I mean, no, I would have wanted to see the Bivol undisputed fight with Baturbiev, but unfortunately, we can't like see it right now because WBC mandated Bivol to fight Canelo or Baturbiev to fight Callum Smith. And it's like they pull these mandatories out of their butts. That's the whole dumb thing about it. They just pull these like mandatories out of the butt. It gets annoying at times. But who knows? Maybe it'll be an entertaining fight. Maybe something will be good. Maybe something will come out of it. Um so yeah, those are some fights that are coming along. It's those are those fights. Yeah, of course, like everybody knows how heavy I rock with Bivol, and everybody knows how heavy I rock with Baturbiev. It's just unfortunate that we don't have the which one call it though. The fights that we need, the fights that we want. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, you get to see him active. So when we go back to the 168, the most likely fight and the most logical fight for David Benavidez, since Canelo, I don't think, has an intention on fighting him, the most logical fight for him would be him to fight David Morrell. David Morrell called him out after the fight, and I think that would make for a good fight. I think it would make for a very entertaining fight. And I think that David Morrell is up to the task. I don't think David Morrell is going to be on his bicycle like I don't think I don't think David Morrell is going to be on his bicycle like Caleb Plant was on his bicycle when he fought David Benavidez. I don't think he's going to be doing that. I think that David Morrell, he can box, but he can also be a guy who can fight. So this is what I'm saying. I think this would make for a good fight, and I think it'll be very entertaining too. I think it will be a very, very entertaining fight. This is a fight that I think should happen, and rather than David Benavidez hold his breath for a Canelo fight, he should, entertain these fights. You know. Now at the 160, we have a couple of fights. In August, we got Erislandy Lara. He fighting Danny Garcia. Out and as crazy as this sounds very crazy. um Erislandy Lara, I think he's like 38, 39. But I still, as crazy as this sounds, um I still favor Erislandy Lara over Danny Garcia. I know this sounds crazy, but yes, I do favor Erislandy Lara over him. As crazy as it sounds. Who knows what's gonna happen in that fight? But yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. So another thing too. So another thing too, in that 160 division, I think there's one vacant belt. I think that vacant belt uh belongs to I want to say it's the IBF belt that is vacant. So the thing is with that, that would be a good look for, I guess, because he's calling out everybody. Zanabek, he's like wanting smoke with everybody, and he just recently came off a impressive win against Stephen Butler, or yeah, I think that's what his name was, Stephen Butler. He came off of an impressive win with him, and so he wants smoke. So I don't know what the rankings are looking like, but yeah, that would be an excellent fight. He can get another strap, and that could like possibly increase his chance at being undisputed. That can increase his chances at that. In another fighter at 160, he made the move up. Me personally, I believe he should have did a rematch with Fundora, but he did take damage in that fight. He took hella damage in that fight when you think about it. I know this sounds crazy, but yeah, he took damage, boy. But another fight that we're having right now is Erison Lewin. He's gonna fight Louis de Cubas in his return fight and he'll be debuting at 160. So there's a chance that maybe if he gets up in the rankings at 160, there's a chance that he can secure a belt at 160. And that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be good for him to obtain a belt at 160. You know. Now, with that being said, um, at 154, they're just kind of pretty much waiting for Jamel Charlo. I don't know how long he's going to be injured, but dude's got to stay active. And that's the thing, that they're kind of like lightweight, not um other dudes are waiting. Other dudes are waiting. And I don't know how long he's going to be out, but it just seems like he's not in any hurry to come back. Seems like he's following his brother's lead now, and not really, not really desiring to really come back, you know, or at least not desiring to come back anytime soon. That's what it seems like with Jamal Charlo, or Jamel Charlo, I should say. So another fight that we have, that it's I mean, they've done. The good news is, because here's the thing, I said to myself, I'm not covering this fight. Listen, I said to myself, I'm not going to talk about this fight, right? Until it is signed, sealed, and delivered. I said that. I said, listen, until this fight, right, is signed, sealed, and delivered, I will not report on the fight. So it appears, that the fight that has been on people's minds is finally made. The fight with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is finally a go. They had a, I guess they had a ESPN little sound off. They had a sound off on ESPN. The back and forth was pretty respectful. It didn't seem like there was like much animosity between them. It seems like that they kept it cordial, they kept it calm, cool, collected. It didn't seem like they were really, how should I put it, at each other's necks. Um, as a matter of fact, it didn't seem like there was any bad blood, so to say. So, with that being said, the thing is, with the fight, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can say I'm looking forward to the fight, but at the same time, I'm wondering to myself, how the undercard is going to be. Is the undercard going to even be worth it? Um, is the undercard going to be worth it? You know what I mean? Because they're probably they're probably they, I mean, they'll probably just sell the fight based off of the main event. But I don't think they should do that. I think they should put like a loaded undercard. Just give me a minute. so so now, like, now what is, I guess Jerron Ennis, being that Jerron Ennis is still at welterweight and he makes welterweight pretty good, what is he left to do now? I think that, he fights Stanionis. I don't think that the Virgil Ortiz fight is likely because God knows what even Virgil Ortiz is doing. That guy, it seems like he, you know what I mean? Like, it just is sporadic with him. One day he's sick, one day he's having a problem, the next day he's ready to fight, and it's like crazy to me. It's really weird to me that he has this kind of like situation going on with himself. So I don't think, we see the Duran Ennis Virgil Ortiz fight. As a matter of fact, I don't think we see that fight anytime soon. But Duran Ennis, he can fight Stanionis. I don't know what Keith Thurman is planning to do. I don't know if Keith Thurman moves to one. Um, I don't know if Keith Thurman moves to 154. I don't know what his thing is, but yes, that would be a good fight too. This was a fight that was talked about. That a fight with Jaron Ennis and Keith Thurman would be a fight that would make a lot of sense, and it can be a fight that we can also see, if Jaron Ennis is ready for the big time, we can see. I believe he is. I'm still sitting by the fact that I believe he's ready for the big time. I believe that he has everything, all the necessary tools needed to be, be the be the be the force in the welterweight division. You know, that's what I believe. I really believe it. I believe that if he if he basically is able to be more active, because that's the thing about Jerron Ennis. He like only, unfortunately, because nobody really wants to fight him, he usually only fights like once a year. That's another problem. But I do want to mention another Cuban boxing news, that Andy Cruz has joined the Joran Ennis camp. Now, Andy Cruz, I think he's fighting at 135. And, that is interesting too, because it leaves the division uh wide open. You know, well, actually he's fighting at 140. Actually, yeah, he's fighting at 140. Super lightweight. And then even Jerron Ennis said that, Andy Cruz will pick up the style real quick. He said that about Andy Cruz, that he's going to pick up the style really really quick. And so yeah, he's another thing, someone to be he's someone to be uh taking note of, you know. Now, um another thing too is that there's a guy at 135 that is actually very 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 impressive, who, if given the opportunity, you know, and I mean he's still making his way up, but Abdullah Mason. Now that guy, I'm gonna be honest. Abdullah Mason looks like the truth. Seriously, Abdullah Mason looks like he's gonna be it looks like he's gonna be the truth. Cause each fight, it just looks like he just has some good stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to Abdullah Mason. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying he's better than Keyshawn Davis, but me personally, I prefer Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis because I just think that when you look at Abdullah Mason, Abdullah Mason's style is more polished than Keyshawn Davis, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. I just think that Abdullah Mason's style is just more polished for such a young age, and I think Abdullah Mason is actually faster than Keyshawn Davis as well, too. I believe so. You know. Now, um, I mean, that's pretty much it for the boxing. Yeah, that's pretty much it for boxing. Um, yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything else in the boxing department right now. I can't really think. Now, I want to talk about some world football right now. And for those of you guys that don't know, that's soccer. Um, there's a few things I want to talk about. Number one, I want to talk about Victor Osimhen. Now, Victor Osimhen, okay, I was talking to my uncle about this too. I was like, man, I hope he said, hopefully, this guy is not going to be a fry in the pan type of talent where, he dominates so well in one league, but then he goes to another league and he just falls by the wayside. Hopefully, that's not the case with Victor Osimhen. Hopefully not. Hopefully, he's like the goods because when it comes to him, uh, he's just been on a tear. And many people will just say that he's a target man, but that's not true. If you don't know and if you don't watch the games, he's skillful. I think he improves on his skills upon every game a lot of the time, you know. So even the coach of Wolfsburg, you know, said he regrets selling him. But the thing is about that is that I think the higher ups said that, oh, he's not good. He's not good enough, you know. Um and I guess what happened is that he he just needed time because, what happened is he just needed to develop. That's it. That's pretty much it with Victor Osimhen. So he just needed to develop, you know. He was a young player at that time. Now, in terms of Victor Osimhen, right? What I hope he doesn't do, and I hate to say this, but this literally would be career suicide. You know, this would be career suicide. I'm telling you, if he did this, this wouldn't be a good thing at all. But whatever he does, in my humble opinion, this is just my humble opinion. Um, what he should do is he should stay one more season at Napoli. Try to win Champions League with Napoli. Try to do that first. Try to win Champions League with Napoli. Okay? This is what he should try to do. Try to do it with Napoli. If he wins it with Napoli, then leave. He won the Scudetto with Napoli, which they haven't won, I think, in 30 years, right? So he should do that first and then move to um move to a team that is not Man U. Okay. Whatever the case may be, he should not move to Man U. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even. I'm gonna be completely real with you. And I'm a Barcelona fan at this. I'm a Barca fan. But um he should move to Real Madrid. Cause I know Barca ain't gonna mess with him. I just know Barca ain't gonna mess with him based on like what type of players Barca has. I know Barca is not gonna bother trying to sign that guy. I know that. I know better. Um if not if not Real Madrid, he should go to he should go to I mean in the premiership the pickings are kind of slim because Man U they have that Howland guy. They have him. So I mean the only other option would be for him to go to Chelsea. Really. Or the only viable option would be for him to go to Chelsea. You know. That's what I think he would have to do is go to Chelsea. It would pretty much work better for him. And hopefully they would make the right moves to cater to what he needs. So that's why I think me personally he should wait another year to wait and see what Chelsea does. That's what he should do. Wait to see how the new coach is going to add his touches on it, not just go and be part of a project, you know. Now, another team that is surprising to me and that I'm kind of like keeping my eye out on, like I'm like, hey, these people are kicking. These people have came out of nowhere to do something special. But Newcastle, and yes, I'm a little biased, but they have Alexander Isak, who I'm telling you has shown the glimpses of. They have shown the glimpses. He has shown the glimpses of a Thierry Henry. Okay, it's too early to say, but if he can continue on this tear, and if Newcastle United can keep on building how they're building, because I'm telling you, man, they have that Gulf money, then I think that Newcastle may be a formidable force, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking so. I'm really thinking that they have the potential to be that. Okay. And I think Alexander Isak will lead the helm of that, you know. And I believe, one thing I do believe that um even though he's young, he's picking it up. Even for being lithe, the physicality of the premiership doesn't seem to be bothering him because he was still banging in goals and stuff like that. So I think and he was like just doing crazy assists. Like I think in my opinion, he had the assist of the season. But in that assist, I know what he wanted to do was score. He was trying to chip it in. Like you can tell he was trying to chip it in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's another guy that they compare. Well, they kind of compare the two. They kind of compare Osimhen. They kind of compare him to the Juventus striker who will probably move too. I'm thinking he's gonna move as well. Um, I'm thinking that um because other people are interested in him. That's the thing. Like more people are interested in him. But I have a feeling that I'm trying to find his name real quick. Vlahovic. Yeah, Vlahovic. I think he's gonna leave. And many people compare him to a I want to say ma- many people compare him to a or many people are comparing him to Osimhen. You know, they're because they kind of had the same trajectory. But I don't know. You know, I really don't know. Now, another person, right? Another person that we have of interest, and maybe I don't know, maybe he maybe he finds the form that got his former team out of relegation, and that's Sadiq Umar. Sadiq Umar, who is playing now for Real Sociedad, is now not injured anymore because I think he had ace yeah, it was like a ACL tear. I think that was the situation with him. He had an ACL tear, and he was out for a long, long, long time. I'm telling you, he was out for a cool minute. So he was out for a cool minute. Um, with that being said, um, he's slowly but surely coming back. I think he's in first team training now. I think that yeah, he's first team training. So now it remains to be seen if he is going to if he's going to basically have that form again, the form that got him promoted, got his team promoted. It remains to be seen. Um, but yeah, now another player, and I'm going to end on this note. Been on for about an hour. I decided that we were going to stay on for an hour. Now, another player of note is Alejandro Balde. It seems like Bayern Munich has made an inquiry about him. I don't know if Barcelona is going to sell him or not. I don't think they should. As a matter of fact, I think they should just move him to the left wing. You know, instead of him playing defense, they should just move him to the wing. Um, Another player is Usman Dembele, who I think they are offering another contract. You know, it's just hopefully he just stays healthy, bro. That's the main thing. He needs to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he'll be good. It'll be good for him. You know what I mean? So yeah. But with that being said, That's all I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll go live more often on here. But yeah, I've been working on my other channel, which is more like geopolitical stuff and also just social issue. Social. I guess the word that we have in Arabic is social fitness that we're enduring if you're in the West. You know what I mean? But rest assured that, once I'm out of here, perhaps I'll show my face. You know what I mean? Once I'm out of this jurisdiction. But anyhow, we have a lot of good fights to look forward to. One of the fights that we really wanted is finally signed, sealed, and delivered. So let's just wait and see what happens. I'm off until the next one. Fuller signing out. Njarama.